What's up, guys? It's finally time to say goodbye to ZAPDOS. We will have a new ranked map in the game with Rayquaza and a lot of different changes. So, before it comes out tomorrow, let's just go over a few things. Some of the things on this map are a bit outdated because there was actually a patch towards the map, and certain respawn timers are a bit different now, but we can still see certain things. Obviously, I want to talk about all the effects, right? And the changes. So, of course, we have different Pokemon, but I mean, they're pretty much the same. These are just replacing the A-Poms right here, right? Walking down a lane. This is just, with A-Poms. And these are pretty much Audinos that we used to have. Call it Indeedee or, Bunnelby, just different things. And we also have this new camp right here on the top with these small Natus, which is very interesting. It's 3 small things, which, I mean, is going to allow attack rate stackers to just kill them very fast because they give 1 energy coin as well only. They're very squishy. So quite interesting. But in general, the top lane looks very empty, right? There's not a lot of things going on right here. So it looks like there's a lot of less camps, or a lot of less XP to be gained on top side, while bot lane, I mean, seems to be around the same. We have another neutral, we have 2 neutral Audinos. We have some right here, some Bunnelbys, and another Audino right here, or like Indeedee. I'm still gonna call them Audinos probably for now, it doesn't matter what. And we also have the jungle difference, where the buffs are in different positions now, which is also quite interesting. The buffs are actually over here. So no longer here, they have moved from here to here. And we have some Pokemon spawning here, some Baltoys spawning on this side of the map as well. And then the best thing about this, I feel like, is that the buffs are not on the same side, right? It used to be that on green side, blue buff was top, red buff was bot lane, and then on the other side, if you play grass side, right, blue buff was bottom, and red buff was top, but now it's finally equally mirrored. So we have the buffs on the same side, which I think makes total sense. I believe this is something I've wanted for a long time. And I'm glad, they're finally doing that as well. So now the game even feels more even. Doesn't matter if you play left or right side. I mean, the map pretty much looks the same. So the buffs also got a bit of a change. The blue buff now gives cooldown reduction, which is absolutely insane for certain Pokemon. Already played, of course, a few matches on this map. And the blue buff is absolutely massive. Having cooldown reduction for free, you guys know certain Pokemon, if they get a bit of cooldown reduction, they have permanent uptime on their moves, right? Combined with like Shell, Energy Amp, Black Emblems, which are getting nerfed, but still, it's actually quite insane. The red buff now is even better than before. I don't know why they chose to buff red buff. I feel like red buff was so OP already, but red buff actually also does attack damage now, or it's extra damage, as you can see right here. Takes to the extra damage and reduces enemies' move speed, which I don't know why. I feel like it's fine if it does extra damage, but they should remove the move speed on, like the move speed is slow, right? Makes no sense. Then we also have this Altaria camp in the middle. So of course we don't have the bees anymore, we have no Altarias. And there's also one spawning where Rayquaza spawns. So this is where Rayquaza spawns in endgame. And we now have another contention point in the middle of the map, which is quite nice. It allows, maybe more team fighting over more additional experience. And it also allows teams that are actually ahead in the game to still get more experience, because if you break goals, right, we still spawn the Indeedees on this side now, so they're still gonna get moved when we break goals. So there's another point for the winning team to actually maybe get some additional experience in, right? So quite nice. And another, early game fight for a jungler that plays well to maybe have, more experience, or in general for laners. This spawns at 8 minutes, and after that it spawns also every 90 seconds. So 6:30, 5 minutes, and so on until obviously Rayquaza spawns. Then it's obviously gonna be gone. Then we also have on top side we have Lecky. I don't know. I mean, God, I'm so bad at pronouncing names. That's insane. It's pretty much Rotom, but it does more damage. It has like a zone that stuns, and it does more damage in general. So it might be easier to push this in. Yeah, it might be easier to push in. It has a very nice stun, pretty large AoE as well, and another like triangle, or like shoots into 3 sides and does a good amount of damage as well. Then on the bot side, we have now also Regis. We have 3, and this is actually quite interesting. So we have it can always be a different Reggie spawning. We have Registeel, Regice, and Regirock, and all of them give different things. Registeel increases your team's attack and special attack, right here, as you can see. Then we have Regice, which increases your HP recovery, which also sounds quite good. And we have Regirock, which increases your defense and special defense. So this is already quite interesting. So this right here is going to be something we have to figure out, which one's going to be actually worth to go for. I mean, how third Dreadnought was always quite bad, but if you go into a Rayquaza fight having one of these 2 buffs right here, it's going to be quite massive, right? If you have increased attack and special attack for the last 2 minutes, or increased HP recovery for the last 2 minutes, that's going to be absolutely massive. But for early game, this looks quite good now, right? But they still give experience. They still give global experience. Not as much as Dreadnought, but it's around a quarter of a level, from what I've noticed playing on the test server. But they still give global experience, so it can also be a nice thing for your team, you know, to get ahead quite easily. And then we have rayquaza. This is obviously the big thing in the middle that's going to spawn. And rayquaza is very different to ZAPDOS. It gives you a big shield. I'm just going to showcase it very fast, okay? Let me just put up this. Since, I mean, again, I played on the test server, right? So after defeating rayquaza, you don't have insta-scoring anymore. You get this huge shield. So it's pretty much ult, body barrier, and score shield, but as an effect. So we gain a shield, and if the enemies kill the shield, the buff is gone. You can see it right here. This is the buff. And as soon as the shield is gone, yeah, it's gone. And it also gives us goal getter. So this is score shield, I guess body barrier, and goal getter in one combined. And the fun part is with goal getter, it actually goes faster. So right here, you can see I'm activating goal getter. It's almost insta-scoring if you have a goal getter. But as soon as the enemies get rid of this entire shield, then you can not score fast anymore. So as long as this is up, you can score fast, and you can also not be interrupted by scoring. And it can last, you can see, can last quite a while. It also allows you to teamfight maybe with it a bit faster. Right now it's still on. You can see a small shield, and I still have my unstoppable as well. So it is quite good of an objective still, but not as insane as ZAPDOS was, right? ZAPDOS was almost insta-winning. This, now the winning team, or the team that loses rayquaza, can still look for a team fight, maybe get rid of those shields, but of course it's going to be difficult to win a team fight against these massive shields, right? But I think this is also a much better solution than to the insta-scoring. They pretty much had no counterplay, right? I mean, you could still kill your opponents, right? But it was much more difficult. Also going to be a bit easier now to deal with it now, because again, every single Pokemon is getting a Unite move nerf, and everyone's going to be much slower. Much slower. This is going to be very difficult. It's going to be a very difficult game to play. Also for jungling, what I've noticed, if your jungler is slow, for some reason, jungling gives more experience now. I don't know why, but if you do this, into this, into this, right? You sometimes can be level 5. If you're like a Gardevoir or like a Riot that is very slow at jungling, you're actually going to get level 5 from Natu and 2 buffs, and you can instantly gank. But in general, I think the jungle meta is for sure going to be you just do one of the buffs, right? Depending on which lane you want to gank. Again, red buff makes you deal more damage, right? So doing red buff first is going to help you clear this one fast as well. And you're just going to look for a gank. I don't think you do go for these too much unless your character really relies level 5. And there's nothing up. So if nothing is up here, no one is fighting, no one's fighting up here, you can go back here and clear these. Otherwise, it's going to just be buff into buff. Or maybe it's going to be one ball tie into buff, into buff, into level 5, right? That's also totally something I could see happening. I don't know when they spawn at 940. Okay, they spawn still later though, so maybe it's not a viable option. But maybe, you know, just trying to 3 craft already, we can do like this, and then into this, and then we all up to level 5 pretty much all the time. So we can, you know, have like a easy jungle rotation down towards the lane we want to go, similar to, you know, like this. And we can decide what lane we want to go to. I feel like you have to be careful. Invading is going to be probably quite easy on this map, because again, the buffs are much further out. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video, and just so you have some sorts of idea what to look for and what to go into for tomorrow's ranked matches. And please if you guys like the video and subscribe to my channel. See you guys in the next video. Bye.